connections. And then, yeah, like second semester now, it's a lot better. You guys learn how to study better. You need to stay on top of everything and stay on top of your schedule and making sure you do everything on time. Make a Google Calendar, make a to-do list, make everything, and you'll all be fine, inshallah. Yeah, if you're ever booking rooms, you can't have food here, so just to let you guys know. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a spot. They have a cafe in there, 4th floor prayer room. They have a prayer room in almost every building. MSA board and safe board. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But there's like a lot of events. There's always a lot of events. We have an ASA here, we have MSA. Almost every type of org is found on campus. I think we have over like 2,000 orgs on campus.
Administrative work behind the scenes. SIASG is the central student government, so it's the main government on campus. $1 million, and we put that completely towards the students. So our team is mostly in DC at the moment, advocating to legislators and lawmakers about what change we want to see in Michigan, with our Big Ten colleagues across the nation. But I'm here working the front desk, doing our thing, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have about what CSG can do for campus. Yeah, so this is our office. It's pretty small. We used to have a bigger one a million years ago, but since we've been moved around, our office is super small. This is typically where our smaller groups and committees meet, just to check in with each other. It's also a space and opportunity for our team to kind of come together, see familiar faces throughout the day, get a bunch of work done together, and we store all of our materials in here. Students come to the office every single day to ask questions to the front desk, talk to our amazing program manager, see their student government and work, but also we have free wellness supplies that students can pick up. We give out test prep books that students can pick up. We have free graduation caps and gowns. We have a million different services and programs. Right now we're doing free and subsidized headshots and graduation photos. We give out prizes after events that we host. So we had a pickleball tournament, and the winners got like custom pickleball paddles, so they would come here to pick that up. That's what the day-to-day looks like in the office. So everything happens on this floor of the union. The Dean of Students is all the way down there. We're a subset of the Dean of Students, so they sponsor us as a student org on campus. We have fantastic relationships with them, so they help us get all of our stuff done. But yeah, so those meetings throughout the week and in the office are typically how the day-to-day advocacy, policy change, initiatives, programming happens for students on campus.
Thank you. And are you a volunteer or a staff? Do you get paid for?
So I get paid to work the front desk. As chief of staff, I don't get paid. We have a need-based program, so students who qualify for certain criteria, they can be paid by a need-based standard for how many hours they work per week, but I do not qualify for that. So I just get paid for working the front desk. My position as chief of staff is completely separate.
Go up. This is the women's section, men's section, and then in the closets there's like prayer mats, prayer beads, really anything. And then if you have like more requests, you could scan the QR code and then they'll add more things here. So.
So that's an example of student activism. It can be a catalyst for change within the university. It can be a catalyst for change within the city. It can be a catalyst for change in the state. It can be in the country, and it can be in the world. So today you've seen the student union. Now you're gonna meet one of the student activists, the president of the Arab Student Association. And I want you to, ask about that, what kind of role they're playing, what agendas do they have. Is Mariam still with us or she left? She's gone? Okay. Yeah. So, so one of the themes that are very important in American history is the fight against intellectualism.
Hey guys, my name is Judy. As we said, I'm the co-president of the Arab Student Association. I'm a senior.
If you feel you want to go in, we can.
The thing is, I don't know if there are any spaces available because they're like not bookable. If you guys are cold, let me know. I can try and find us a spot inside. But I'm a senior majoring in international studies on the pre-law track. The reason I did ASA, actually, I was gonna touch on activism. ASA is a community where we always come together. We host events every week where if you want to speak up against Palestine, if you want to speak up against Lebanon, Yemen, like wherever, you're gonna face some sort of criticism and people are gonna try and silence you. But us as ASA, we make it our goal to make each other feel safe and make each other feel like we can come together as a group and try and get our voices heard. I want to see if you guys have any questions about anything because I can explain more things as questions come in. But that's kind of the gist of what ASA is about. But yeah, people were so welcoming. I never felt like I was singled out. Nobody asked me about like where I went to school or like how, like just because I was an immigrant, nobody made me feel like I was different. So I saw that kind of sense of community in ASA and I felt like, okay, since ASA gave me so much, I want to give back. So I was on board last year and then I ran for presidency this year. And then I just made it my mission to try and give back to the community as much as possible, whether that's through events or safe spaces, or even if people want to just come talk to me about any problems that they have going on. We also have about 26 orgs that are like under ASA, so it's like an umbrella. We're the parent org. We have the Lebanese Student Association, the Iraqi American Union, the Syrian Student Association, Yemeni Student Association, etc., etc. So we try and help them grow because those orgs are like smaller than ASA. It's just like more exclusive, if you will. So we make it our mission to also help them grow. But yeah, I just did ASA to give back to the community and just make people feel more welcome the same way I was. The biggest challenge? That's a great question. Obviously ASA is a very uplifting org. However, there will be disagreements, there will be problems sometimes, but that's when we come together and talk it out. So I want to say the biggest challenge is probably this year was engagement, because last year people felt like they couldn't express things freely, which was very disappointing for me. But this year, I think engagement was the biggest problem. A lot of people felt like they were like scared, I guess, to show up, especially the university suppression. A lot of people started to back out and say, okay, the university is gonna punish me for speaking my truth, so I'm just gonna stay safe and not say anything and just hide. Which I find to be very, very sad, because I really wish that people would just, I understand being scared, of course, as someone who immigrated here and had to be careful for like 5 years before I got my citizenship. I completely understand that. So I do get where the hesitancy comes from. However, I think that ASA does a very, very good job in providing a space where people can just genuinely feel safe and come together and do things as a community. Typically, it's just so big. There are like, I think 60,000 students total with master's and PhD students. So it's very hard to spot Arabs on campus directly. Like if you're walking to class, you'll see a couple here and there. But ASA is just a place where you guys can actually come together and, you know, have fun. So I genuinely think the ASA it was a game changer for me throughout my experience. Regents, we currently have elections going on for the regents. We were spreading word about that. We were trying to vote one of the regents out, and we do have one Arab regent that we're trying to vote in. Yeah, so we're trying to change that, but we'll see. So this center, Trotter Multicultural Center, was built to give people of color a space to kind of just come together, whether they want to host an event, whether they want to chill or just study. And I think it's done a very good job at that. We host our weekly Thursday events here, actually, in the basement. So I can show you guys that, and then just like... Okay, so this is Trotter. it's probably going to be a hassle to go downstairs and come back upstairs, but we host our weekly Thursday events downstairs from 9 to 11 p.m. Just keep that in mind. So in there we have the Sankofa Lounge. That's where some people host their events as well. People just go in there, they chill. It's a very, very nice spot. We also have meetings that we've attended through Trotter in there. There's a kitchen in there that's a community space as well. And then these are 2 meeting rooms that people, organizations have their board meetings in. And then upstairs there are Trotter offices for people that work here. And then there's some study spots, some computers up there. And then there's also a common area upstairs where people can, again, study and just chill. There's also a reflection room in there. It's where people pray. We have an organization called the Islamic Society of Ahl al-Bayt. That's where they host their Thursday events as well, right before us. It's a very large reflection room. If you guys ever want to pray, it's right in there. But yeah. Sorry. Did you guys have any questions about anything so far?
When was this association born?
So ASA was started in 2002. It died down for a little bit, but then it got restarted in I think 2016 or 17. Yeah.
Okay, do you have some time? Maybe a little tour of
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
We're gonna do a little tour of Central Campus.
Hashan, right? Yes, I figured.
Since the weather is nice, okay?
Yes.
She's gonna give you the tour of Central Campus.
Okay, this is the center of campus. It's the heart of campus. It's where a lot of people just come together. Like during the spring, it's beautiful. Like you'll see hammocks out. You'll see people just laying down on the grass, studying, chilling, whatever it is. Make sure when you walk here, do not step on the M. That's a curse. I know you guys probably know that. I heard someone say that. But yeah, this is the heart of campus. And yeah. And this is the Hatcher Library as well. By the way, this is the graduate library. It's very, very, very beautiful on the inside. That's the Shapiro Library over there. That's the Chem building. Yes. I've done it before. I've been okay. But it's a curse. Don't do it. It's the Star of David. What happened to
Okay, continue.
That's the Chem building over there. That's the School of Kinesiology. That's Mason Hall, Haven Hall, and Angel Hall, and Tisch Hall, all in one. You'll get lost in there at some point, but you'll figure it out. But yeah. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, yes.
She's gonna talk a little bit about her experience with that.
So the encampment, like Wissam said, was over here. It happened for about a month before it got shut down. It was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen before it got there were so many things just happening, and it was the entire diag. People were playing sports, people were just having fun. It was just a way for people to establish their presence and just make their voices heard. It really, I personally think it was beneficial because it really did scare the administration. They actually are capable of more than we thought. So that's why I always will emphasize advocacy. No matter what they make you feel, don't let that shake you. They're gonna try and make you feel like protests are useless, or speaking up is useless, or posting is useless. Don't think that. That's what they want you to think. Always make sure that if you're talking to someone, if it's relevant, just bring it up, speak up. Don't be scared. Obviously, be safe. And there are so many ways that you can speak up and be safe. So don't make them think that that's not true.
This building was built in 1947, and it's been the home of music at Michigan ever since then. This part that we're standing in right now was built in 2015. They did a renovation and they added a bunch of new spaces for our students to use. So we're going to start by taking a look at some of those new spaces.
Electric composition within the music school, so they can also edit the live streams. The leaders in this building, they tie down into the suite and they can edit the audio in real time. So a lot of students will go to them if they want to record like an album or an EP or a single. I know I'll also be going to them to work with like music composure and things for next year for my thesis.
All right. The next space we're going to be looking at, we're going to do a quick loop through the new percussion practice wing. So all of our students that play drums or any other kind of percussion, they practice in here. So peek through some of these windows and you'll get to see all of the different instruments that they're able to use. And somebody parked their bike here.
Is that allowed? That can't be allowed.
There's a tuba player that has a...
within it, so it is practically brand new. Our voice department pretty much is home based in there, so when they practice all their operas, they use the stage and lyrics and kind of set them all up. For the rest of our students, they use them for their junior, senior recitals as well. The other one is going to be Brittany Recital Hall, which is through these doors, which also has a class story on. That one is larger. It seats 250 people. That's when it takes the junior, senior recitals. That's the classics when we bring in larger symphonies and orchestras. I know we had the Berlin Philharmonic in recently. They did master classes in here. And then you can also do studio recitals, so all the great instruments have all of your students perform together. And that will happen bringing the students all as well.
All right, we can keep on moving. You guys can follow me this way.
So you will growth in or rated and get by person, the teacher by person.
And they come from all over the world, from all sorts of different cultures. And so they cycle through putting these instruments in the display cases so that people can learn about them. And then there's also opportunities for our students to play in ensembles that play with the different types of instruments from around the world. So through music, it's a great way to learn about different cultures that you maybe wouldn't have been exposed to if you hadn't been participating in that kind of music. If you all turn around behind you where Amanda is, she's going to tell you about the library.
Alright, so the next thing we're going to walk through is the music library. I won't talk about it before we go in, just because it is a pretty library. I should respect everyone that's studying. I'll talk about it out here. So what you can see with the music library, that's about 2 stories when we walk in. The first level is going to be references, materials for any kind of music, as well as theater. And then the upper 2 levels are musical scores. So we have one of the largest collection of musical scores on the continent within those upper 2 levels. So I do recommend looking up as you walk in. One thing that we have is a really large scanner for our students, so even the oldest scores that we have, only on paper, not even in online digital format, they can scan them in the library and email them to themselves, so they don't even have to take it out of the library. I'm worrying about damaging it or anything like that. As we're walking around, you can also look out the windows. The first side, you'll see our pond, our beautiful street view of North Campus. On the back side, you'll be able to see the School of Art and Design. And then on the far side, as we're walking, you'll be able to see the tops of the market.
For me in my life and how I would like to impact the lives of others through that. So for me growing up, being part of music was always something that gave me a lot of community, and I found a lot of my closest friends were coming from my opportunities in making music, and it really opened doors for things like travel and personal growth and finding myself in ways that I wouldn't have without that participation. And so part of the reason why I want to be a teacher is so that I can give that back to the next generation of students and give students opportunities to grow and discover who they are in like a safe and comfortable environment where they're still being challenged and pushing themselves to grow further. And something that I love about being at Michigan for that is that we have so many opportunities for connection through music. Our music department does collaboration with within the School of Music with different departments within the School of Music and also outside of the School of Music. I'm in the marching band, which is a great way that I get to connect with the community around Michigan. The marching band is a big part of the game day, and so it really makes me happy that I get to bring music into the lives of other people and sort of help foster that kind of community that surrounds music a lot of the time.
Yeah, for me, I've done a lot of social work through dance, so just this past, a month ago, I did a performance in the Math Lab Botanical Gardens, which is a plant conservatory, with one of the senior pieces. She moved it in there. We did a community performance there, also raising awareness for environmental change and preservation of the environment. So her entire piece was centered around that. Through dance, I've also been able to go over internationally and dance in Europe and kind of have cross collaboration with artists over there. And even now, even though I'm in education for English and teaching English in schools, I'm seeing a lot of cross with my students there and kind of learning how disciplinary crossover can happen between teaching dance and performing. So it's really great. You'll kind of see more of that as we go into the theater building and how they also cross into the community around Ann Arbor as well. Any questions?
Do you guys want to come and you can stand by this wall? So unfortunately, we won't be able to see all of the spaces, but there's a fully functioning costume shop in this building. So every show that the university does, we have workers and students that make all of the costumes for the show. We also have a set shop, so they design all of the sets for all of the shows that we do here. And we have various different rehearsal spaces that are used by the musical theater department, as well as the department of acting, so just straight drama plays with no singing. And then the directing majors use those as well. We have a special lighting studio where students can practice using different lighting and see what it would look like on different props and on different people so they can get it ready for when they're going to do it for a show. And we have an acting for the camera studio as well so that students can practice acting for a camera because it's really different than what it's like to be acting on stage. In this building we have two performance spaces. One of them is down at the other end and it's called Stamps Auditorium, and that one's mainly used for music performances, and we also kind of funnily enough share it with the College of Engineering. So a lot of times engineering students will have their engineering lecture in the theater building, which I think is kind of silly. And then behind me is Arthur Miller Theater, which Amanda is running up to grab the key for. And so that's our largest theater space that we have in here. In terms of other performance spaces, we have more spaces that are down on the main central campus. Hill Auditorium is the largest space. That one seats 3,000 people in Hill Auditorium. So a lot of people get to come see the music shows which happen there. And then the Power Center is our largest space for theater and drama, and that one seats 1,300 people, and that's used by the school, and it's also used by different student organizations. So the shows that the school puts on are only for people that are studying theater or musical theater, but then if you're not studying that but you'd still like to be participating in it, which I think is great, there are student organizations that are run entirely by students that anybody in the university can be a part of no matter what you're studying. And so that's a great way to continue doing something that maybe you like doing when you were in middle or high school, but you are interested in other things for your career. You could still keep the arts and theater in your life by doing these student organizations, and it brings a lot of great community and like personal involvement and fulfillment to get to keep doing something that you love.
The PD programming was on one campus. So previously dance was on Central Campus, just like theater was. It was in like the normal athletic like fitness complex. We were right next to a stairwell. So now it's much nicer to have our own building. We have 4 studios in here. I'll kind of talk about each of them briefly. So the first one is going to be behind some of you. It's called the Berg Studio. That's our technology studio. So in there we have a green screen, green flooring. We do a lot of our video editing and screen dance in there. We also have grand pianos in each of the studios for live accompaniment from pianists and also drums and percussion, so it's very nice. The second one's our performance theater. So our performance theater seats 166 people. That's used for all of our thesis performances, so we're required to put on a concert to graduate and choreograph a concert, and then our master's students are also required to do the same, so we do all of those in-house in our studio theater. Our fourth room we will walk by, but I'll talk about it first. It's called the Granoff Studio. That's our wood floor studio, so our classes like jazz, hip hop, things that require us to wear shoes will happen in there. It also has the prettiest view outside. We always see deer walking outside of there. And then our fourth studio and final studio is our ballet studio, which is on the other end of the building, which we'll walk to. I just want to point them out before we get over there. So I will lead us around. We won't be able to see the first 2 rooms because they are room of the dance building. So this is our student lounge. So the Moore building has their own lounge. We have our own lounge. The theater building does not, but all their students kind of hang around wherever they want. And here we have our normal kitchenette area, seating for students. A lot of students will leave their stuff here just because
we're usually in classes and they don't prefer to bring their bag into the room with them. Yeah, this is also where we kind of have wellness events. So we do have a wellness program at U of M, and specifically in SMTD, we have our mental wellness as well as our physical wellness aspects. So we partner with Michigan Medicine through Neurosport, and they'll come and do concussion screenings for us, and as well as triage clinics for any minor injuries we have. The main difference between a conservatory and the University of Michigan is we are technically a liberal arts program, which we allow students to dual major. So if you're looking for a conservatory program that's focused on a specific kind of art or a specific focus, those you're only going to be doing that for all of your years. One thing about U of M, which is nice for me, is that I can dual major. So I dance half my day, and then I also go and take like educational psychology. And then I go into a classroom 2 days a week to work with students, which is a nice balance. Whereas if I was at a conservatory, I would be dancing from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day. Any like money towards you for that, but it is a nice thing, so you show that you have like diversity on your transcripts and things.